Hey bud, welcome. Last episode we got our floor started and our copper line back up and running far more efficiently than before. What I'd like to do with this episode is get the other copper line running, maybe extend out our floor and knock out a milestone or two. Let's get to it. Well, the first things we can do actually is the Logistics Mark II, and this will actually give us our next level conveyor belt, which will double the speed of which the items will move. So one of the things we have to always keep an eye on is our power usage. As you saw in the last episode, we did blow a fuse, I think a couple of times actually, and just looking at our power consumption right now, we're maxing out at 112 and we're at a capacity of 120 still. So we have a decent bit of biofuel or solid biofuel still available to us, but we're going to make sure that we keep that coming. But in order to get our next milestone, I mentioned we need reinforced plates, and to make reinforced plate we actually need an assembler. There is a way to look at this in the codex. If you're on controller, you just need to find the item and then hold down left trigger and press right on the D-pad. A lot of movements, but once you get used to it, it's not a big deal. So as we can see here, it takes 6 iron plates and 12 screws to make one reinforced iron plate. That's 30 plates a minute and 60 screws a minute. So let's go ahead and add this to our... Actually, we're not going to add it to our to-do list. What we're going to end up doing is making an assembler that is going to take all of these screws and start bolting them onto plates so that we can get that production up and running, because that is also going to fund our Mark II conveyor belt. So jumping down here, I am going to go ahead and take all of our iron plates again, as well as our concrete, because I want to make some more flooring. Also want to start rebuilding this area, so what I think you'll end up seeing me do is tearing out a lot of this and then resetting it, and that can get a little tedious, so I am going to cut all of this out and give you a finished product, since you've already seen me build it once. Okay, back with a quick update. Got the floor laid out, or at least part of the floor. You'll see I've got one of my copper lines up and running here that we just replaced, or rather moved around. Over here we've got 2 iron lines running. One will be taking care of plates and building into reinforced plates. Others are taking care of things like rods or screws. You'll also see there's a good bit more of empty space now, and that is because I moved our power supply area over to the shore. One thing we will end up doing in this game is using a lot of water, and a lot of that early water usage goes into the power supply. are building up our power network. So it just made sense to go ahead and start building out this area over here. We went ahead and expanded up to 6 biomass burners, giving us a total of 180 capacity. We've only maxed out at 117, but we are going to be adding more to this shortly. Up next, I am going to take care of a couple of items real fast before we continue building on. We need to make sure that we're not stunting our growth too much. So let us go into our hub and start blasting through some of these upgrades, especially now that we've got so much that is coming in automated. So let's see, we're going to need more regular plates. Just so happens there's plenty of those right here. We'll just make the 6 of these that we need real quick. We'll need more as we go into the future, but we'll cut that. And there we go, next milestone is off. That gets us the next level of conveyor belt, which is going to make things move a lot quicker. For our next trick, let's go ahead and take care of the resource sync bonus program. So that will open up kind of a new tree of unlocks for us. Mostly within customization, but it does have some very nice upgrades that we're going to want to get our hands on. So for now, since we have our screws being built up right here, we can go ahead and throw together an assembler, which we are going to need more reinforced plates on. 1 second. Okay, that'll give us enough to get moving again. So we want to try and line this up as best as possible. Unless you lay them out a very specific way, it can be difficult to get everything perfect. And this still won't be our final form. This is just kind of our beginning phase. We will be branching out from this area before you know it, and then to greater frontiers with much larger builds. So let's go ahead and hook these guys up. We're going to be making reinforced plating, and just to look at the requirements here, it needs 30 iron plates and 60 screws per minute. As you can see, we're only outputting 50 screws here per minute and only 20 plates per minute here. So we're going to need to work out a couple of different ways that we want to approach this. We can either build more machines and thus building a different type of bottleneck that we'll have to solve, or we can look into overclocking our machines that we have now using some of those power slugs that we found before. So let me put together the MAM machine again, since we tore that down to build our flooring. Power slugs, here we are. Okay, so I think I put the ones that we've picked up so far in storage. Yep, there we are. Let's go ahead and grab the rest of these. Okay, so that is going to unlock the ability for us to overclock. In order to unlock that, though, we need the item Power Shard, which is made from the slugs. In order to unlock Power Shard, though, we need a yellow slug as some more rotors. So we can manually craft our rotors since we don't have these cooking just yet. We will soon. Oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. There's a Power Shard right here and there. We still need the rotors, so we'll go ahead and build these up. And then we need to find a yellow slug. I'll catch up with you once we find one. Okay, well, I have not found a yellow power slug like we were looking for, but look at this, another crash site with another hard drive with some potential goodies all laying around. Let's go ahead and clear this out. We got plenty of nuts that we can eat to get our health back. Okay, so steel beams, it's huge for this early on. Copper sheet, very nice. Perfect. This is a hard drive that had no requirements. Unfortunately, we are out of space, so let's go ahead and just drop a couple of these for now. We'll take the hard drive with us, and we will break down the rest of this crash site for the free materials. And I'm gonna keep moving. Be right back. Okay, we found a yellow. As you can see, it is very surrounded by poison. I don't have a gas mask yet, so I'm not sure if I can survive this, but we're going to find out together. So let's go ahead and charge in. Oh no, no, there's no way. It makes us move so slowly. We got to eat our nuts, get our health back. Okay, that went poorly. Let me see if I can find a different one. Okay, so we didn't find a yellow one yet. We'll have to come back to that. I think we can spend our time better working in some other areas. I did want to bring back this hard drive and get that working since it takes 10 minutes. Let's see. We need to make 5 lean cuisine. We can also turn this in while we're here. Let's go ahead and finish this off, and then I think we can likely call it an episode at that point. What I really would like to get my hands on here before we start the hard drive is... Sorry, I'm losing my spot. Is the rebar gun. Since we have everything to make it, we just need to make 5 alien DNAs, which we take those... I don't even know what they are. They look like frozen dinners to me, personally, but it might just be like the packaged meat you get at the grocery store. We can go ahead and turn this research in. And then let's go make ourselves a weapon. It'll make things a lot simpler for protecting ourselves, especially when we can do things at range. So this rebar gun is our first kind of, like I said, range weapon. We'll make a stack of ammo for it. The cool thing about it is eventually you can unlock better rebar, one that'll shoot off like a shotgun, or one that'll explode. The exploding one becomes very handy later on once you're trying to clear a lot of area quickly. Oh, overshot by 1. That's okay. We'll use that to demonstrate. So after a quick look around, we'll jam a rebar in there, fire it off, and I think that's where we'll end the episode. When we come back, we will go ahead and clean up the rest of this area and get our limestone production moving. We're going to need a lot more concrete as we move forward. So I hope you enjoyed. See you at the next one.